Guys, so making a video today on how to be a success at YouTube if you're in my position that I was in. Now I think the problem is a lot of people complicate YouTube. I'm going to tell you about that now. So I started the Malloy Runner YouTube channel in 2017. Haven't uploaded to that channel in months now. I started this channel around, was it September, October, something like that. So, I was inspired by certain YouTubers. I was inspired by Brandon. I was inspired by Ryan Trahan, especially Ryan Trahan. He had a big YouTube subscriber base. He seemed to get a lot of success without putting a huge amount of effort into it. It's just like it came quickly to him, and I kind of thought maybe I could do the same because I was a bit delusional. I didn't know how the whole thing worked. Okay, so I wanted to make a living out of YouTube. I didn't want to have to work a job. It was 2017. I was in college. I was sort of forced to go by my parents. I didn't really like it, and I hated it. And I assumed that working a job would be the same thing, and I didn't look forward to that. But the thing is, I expected too much too soon. I didn't realize how unsuccessful I was going to be, and that led to my downfall. Okay, so I made videos. I was uploading every day. I was consistent. But I just wasn't getting the subs or the views, and I couldn't understand why. So I watched YouTube videos on how to get more subscribers, and it said things like, oh, do editing, fancy thumbnails, upload to social media, write a script. I do none of those things, except I do write a bit of a script. To be fair, that's the only thing I do. Apart from that, it's fully spontaneous. You know what I mean? So I tried all those things that just didn't seem to work. And I just quit thinking, oh, this isn't my thing, I'm not getting any success. And that's what, 99 out of 100 people in my position would have thought, okay? Normally people, they stick to something that they're good at. Like I stuck to running so long because I was good at it. Starting out, I was quite good without putting much effort or training in. I started off at 14 and I was actually very sedentary up to that point in my life, really. I was the type of guy who sat down playing video games most of the day. I did maybe go for the odd walk or jump on the trampoline at home, or do after school sports, but generally I wasn't really that active. Okay, so so then I watched a video by Ryan Trahan from 2017. I think I watched this like in 2020 though, and Ryan Trahan made a video about how he got the valedictorian award. Now the valedictorian award is the award you get in your last year at school in the US for the best grades, and he got the best grades. He got, well, I don't know how they do it there. It's like the SATs, not like the Leaving Cert. And I was thinking, bingo, that's it. All right, he has a high IQ. That's why he's making good YouTube videos. It's just his brain is stronger than mine. That's the only difference. I knew I was one of the lower guys. I was very low down on the academic charts. I got 70. I have an IQ of 70. I did an IQ test when I was 17. I got 70, which means I'm borderline retarded, which means 98% of people have higher IQs than me. So, I had no right to expect to become a good YouTuber, but I was like, you know what? If I work at it and I improve, I can become good at it, okay? Now, I think one of the reasons I had such a low IQ was because I was overworked at school. You see, I learned to read late, I learned to write late, and I think the attitude is, oh, you need to work harder than everybody else. And I was pushed too hard, and I didn't really improve much. Okay, that's the problem. It doesn't work like that. Okay, it's like if you're a 22-minute 5K runner, you can't expect to train with you can't expect to outwork 14-minute 5K runners who run 100 miles a week. No, you do smaller doses of training. You might do, say, 20 miles a week. Do training load you can actually handle and improve that way. That's how it's done. Yes, you catch up with people by doing less than them because you can't do as much as them. Do you know what I mean? It's just that's how it works, and a lot of people don't seem to understand that. So improving my IQ became my main focus. From then on, I didn't care about how many subscribers I had, how many views I had. It was just about me improving my IQ, watching videos, and seeing an improvement. And so far I'm happy with my YouTube videos. I think I've made progress. But they're still not good enough to really get a big audience. So so I overstudied at school from the age of 15 to 17. I used to study 2.5 hours a day on school days in the evening, and then 5 hours a day on the weekends. Because that's pretty much what they told us to do. I remember from my junior cert at 16, we got a letter home from the principal saying, oh, to do well for the junior cert, you need to study 5 to 6 hours a day. And I saw that letter and I was like, nah, that's stupid. You can't study 5 to 6 hours a day. But then my parents were like, no, no, that's what you have to do if you want to do well. You have to study loads. And I was young and naive. I fell for it, and I did that. And well, I got mediocre results in the junior cert, to be fair. But I worked too hard for it, you know. And all that studying, I think, decreased my IQ. At 17, working so hard and getting so little results, I just kind of quit, you know. But dropping out at 17 wasn't an option because my parents were very pushy. You know, I was in a boarding school, you know, 5 days a week, home at the weekends, and it just didn't seem like an option to me, really. So I was pressured into going to college. I decided to do like level 5 course, which is like lowest kind of college course you can do. They don't even check your leaving cert results. I got 195 points in the leaving cert. And so yeah, I wanted to, after about one term there, I wanted to quit. I told my mother I wanted to get a job, and she pressured me into going to back to college, saying, "Oh, if you don't go back to college, we're going to kick you out. There's no rule that says we have to keep you here if you don't go to college." And eventually, I went back to college, and yeah, I was in college for 2 years thanks to my mother, and you know, that's one thing I'm very resentful. I'm very resentful towards her for doing that. It was a very stupid decision. But what can you do? You just have to kind of forget about it. And but looking back, I feel like I was let down. I felt like, you know, working a job was what I should have done. So yeah, in 2019, 1 year after leaving college, I got a job at McDonald's, and yeah, I found working at McDonald's very mentally challenging. My brain was wrecked after every shift. Looking back, I think I was only just about smart enough to keep a job there. You know, I worked very hard. There's like 8 different stations you can work at McDonald's. I was only able to really work on 2 of those stations. Every other station was too hard for me. I worked on the easiest stations, grill and batch, also lobby as well. But that's a bit of a piss take of a station. So yes, that's how it was done. You know, I was determined. I came into work on time. I did my best. My head was wrecked after every shift, but you know, I just didn't have the IQ to really do well. Okay, so you know, if you find work, if you're just about smart enough to keep a job at McDonald's, then I'm sorry, but university's out of the question. Okay, um, you know, and so yeah, when I figured this out in 2020 that my IQ was too low to do well at YouTube, I was like, right, I'm going to start reading. But I kind of knew that maybe I overdid it in school because I remember my friend Andy Cummins said that I should treat my studying like I treat running. And I'm like, yeah, but I only run for like an hour and a half a day. I do very well at it. Yeah, I was spending like, you know, 3, 4 times that amount of time studying, and I did very badly at it. So I was like, yeah, maybe he has a point. Do less. So yeah, I started reading for an hour and a half a day. I made mental progress. My work started to feel a little bit easier. You know, like I felt like on a busy day at McDonald's, in order to keep up, I'd have to be going all out, 100% effort. But you know, after a little while, I felt like maybe I could maybe I could get by just giving it 70%. Do you know what I mean? The job became easier, and I knew my IQ was improving. So I studied for an hour and a half, read for an hour and a half a day for a while, but I kind of started to plateau after a while. So I cut down to an hour. I started making progress again. I plateaued. Then 45 minutes, made progress again, plateaued, and then I cut down to half an hour. And I think half an hour is the right level for me. So that's half an hour of reading today. You know, I'm going to read for less than half an hour because obviously, you know, you're right. I wrote loads of notes for my video. That probably took about 10 minutes. And then this video, however long this takes, so I might only read for about maybe 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? That's how I do it. So just half an hour of work, where that might be, say, half an hour of reading on its own, or maybe 15 minutes of reading, 15 minutes of YouTube. And that's it. And that's how I'm making progress. And yeah, I feel lazy doing that amount of work, but still, I'm making progress. So I'm going to keep doing that and build slowly to the volume. So yeah, now I don't do editing, I don't do fancy thumbnails, I don't do fancy titles, I just focus on improving content. I don't care how many subs I have, I think I have 2 now. I don't upload my videos to social media. I know if I did, I probably would get more views and subscribers, but it doesn't matter. You know, for me, it's just about improving the content as a YouTuber. It's like, if you want to improve yourself as a footballer, don't try to contact professional teams if you're just starting out as an 11-year-old. No, focus on improving as a footballer. Go outside, practice your skills, practice your dribbling, practice your shooting, practice your cardiovascular endurance, go for runs, do a little bit of gym work, improve your power, stuff like that. Just focus on the activity at hand and worry about all this little fancy stuff like editing and stuff like that later. Okay? So it's like you get a lot of runners who are running like 25 minutes for a 5k, and they think, oh, how am I going to improve? I need to do this kind of fancy session where I do 200 meters on, 200 meters off at, 3K pace, and then marathon pace, and I need to do massage, I need to do stretching, and I need to do all this fancy stuff. No, like you're running 25 minutes for 5K. It's simple. It's really simple to improve. Just go out and run, do volume that you can actually handle, and the improvements will come. That's what I've learned. Just keep it simple. Okay. Yeah. So my videos are improving massively with minimal work. I feel lazy doing just half an hour of work a day, but that's what's making me improve. It's like if you're running 25 minutes for a 5K, you don't need to run 140 miles a week. Do you know what I mean? That's the reality of the situation. As a YouTuber, I'm like a 25-minute 5K runner. I'm at a low standard, so I don't need to do a huge amount of work to improve. If I do a lot of work, then I'm not going to improve. I'm going to burn out. That's just how it works, okay? So yeah, I used to think that I was stupid, but I was just taught stupidly, okay? Look, all this idea of 6 hours studying a day, it's just stupid. And look, I'm sure some people can do that, but I certainly can't, okay? I'm making so much progress just doing half an hour a day. Why do 6 hours? It's just stupid. So yeah, and you gotta realize sometimes when you do badly at things as a child, oftentimes it's just bad coaching, bad teaching. You know, um, like a lot of distance runners, they grew up just doing speed sessions, just doing like 6 track sessions a week. They burnt out, got injured, and they blame themselves. But no, it's not them. It's the coach. It's the coach. All right. If you trained properly, you'd have done much better. Okay.